another episode of Council Bluffs Today. I am Todd Studer, and our special guest into the studio is David Klitz, the director at the ReStore in Council Bluffs.
Absolutely.
And it's not really a promotion, but it is true that you are the only ReStore in the metro.
It just
now.
kind of happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of happened. We're like, oh, okay,
Let's
go. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
But did that change donations or pickups for you? Are you getting stuff from across the river now?
Yeah, we sure are. Yeah. So, Habitat Omaha made the decision, and it was a tough decision for them, I'm sure, to kind of stop doing the ReStore thing and focus exclusively on their homeownership program, which I respect them for. That is, that is why we do what we do. And so to kind of take that pressure away from them and to focus exclusively on the families that they serve in the Omaha area, just brilliant. What that has done, though, is there are folks that that love the mission of the ReStore and the nonprofit aspect of it and where the money goes. The fact that it stays local, the fact that it goes to help build more habitat homes and work with more families to achieve that dream of home ownership. In Council Bluffs, folks love that mission. And so we are seeing, to answer your question, we are seeing more donations, folks calling us from Omaha. And so we're like, okay, we have an electric van that goes about 110 miles. And so we have to be really mindful of that. But folks are super awesome about it. And we are seeing an uptick in foot traffic and an uptick in sales. Yeah, it's
How
great.
long have you had that van?
That van, we're about 2.5 years, something like that. But we had we had a rust bucket before that. That was like, okay, we think that it'll stay running.
Right.
We think that it'll keep from falling apart. But yeah, it's one of those. Yeah. So we were able to get a kind of a forgivable loan and some grant monies to do that through the Iowa Department of Natural Resources.
It's cool that you got an electric van. Was it set out to find an electric one, or was that just a case of opportunity meets?
Well, it was honestly, it was kind of both. We had so we were trying to think of we're doing most of our pickups in Pot County, and so we want something that is not as big as like a 14 or 16 foot box truck, especially getting in and around some of the older streets, older neighborhoods in Council Bluffs.
Right.
And we were like, well, okay, this, we could look at that. I knew I wanted a cargo van, kind of a Transit or a Ram or whatever it was. And we got a call from an acquaintance of one of our coworkers that said, hey, I have a Ford dealership. I just got an electric Ford Transit, 14 foot, high ceiling. And we're like, oh, deal, let's go. Perfect. Because it'll work perfect for in town. Yeah.
You often tell me on this show, and I know you tell everybody, that your inventory changes by the minute.
Every 10 minutes is my yeah.
But we have here at the studios on Willow, we got a lot of cool stuff that came out of your store.
Yeah.
And it is just a matter of checking. You got to see.
You really do. Saturdays are kind of our big day. Saturdays are when I, throw a Facebook post out there with some of the really cool, stuff that came in, and that's just a fraction of what came in. Usually I'll put up some of the, the prettier stuff. It's like, oh man, look at this sectional. It's a year and a half old, and it's, it retails for $3,000, and we're selling it for $1,200, and blah blah blah, stuff like that. But we get all of the things. We'll get, our smattering of antiques. We'll get, those great tools that folks are looking for, some stuff that's never been used or used just once or twice. We'll get, we'll get the pink toilets, not very often. That's kind of the joke in ReStore land is,
right.
What do? We sell pink toilets.
Yeah.
But we get all of that stuff that folks are, it's taking up space or they're finishing up a project or whatever. Yeah. It's amazing.
All right. I'm in the market for one of those toilets that when you walk up, the lid comes up on its own.
Oh.
And when you turn around, it goes back down.
Well,
so if you get one of those.
There we go. Okay. High-end motion detector. Okay. I gotcha.
If anybody would take somebody donating one of those, which I can't imagine. It's been a great addition, I think, ever since I learned about you guys and everything that I can come over and take a look. And even if I don't buy anything, I like going over there.
Yeah. We just, I have, my favorite saying is culture eats strategy for breakfast, right? So if your culture is rotten, then nothing's going to happen. Nothing good is going to happen, right? If you've got a cool culture, and if you interact with folks kind of where they are and in a great way, folks are going to come back, and we're going to see, the repercussions, very positive repercussions of that.
Well, and you see the same people in there a lot.
We do.
I mean,
We do.
you have a great return client base.
Yeah, we really do. We really do. It's just, I would probably say that 50% of the folks that come into the store on a daily basis are repeat customers. They come in just to kind of see what's going on. There's several that we know by name. They know us by face for sure, or we know them by face for sure. And yeah, it's great. It's been a really good adventure for me, because I started I started with the two ReStores in Omaha. God, almost 20 years ago, right? And this is just, the store here in Council Bluffs just has a different feel and a different vibe, because it is more, it's more tied to the community, which is exactly what we want. And we're part of the community. I mean, we want to be part of the community, and so we want to be a good resource for everybody.
Morning Coffee, supported by Bryce Taylor and GLI Insurance Group, serving Council Bluffs, Tabor, and Clarinda. Springtime in Iowa. A good time to take 5 minutes and make sure your home, vehicles, and anything you're pulling out for warmer weather are properly covered. Bryce and the GLI team live and work right here in our communities and are always happy to help you head into spring with confidence. GLI Insurance Group. Local service, all seasons. Morning Coffee is brought to you by Keith Jones, your Edward Jones financial advisor in Council Bluffs. Learn how he can help you reach your financial goals. Visit edwardjones.com for more. Edward Jones, member SIPC. I love your program to where you want to make sure that you keep inventory moving. So things that have been there for a while will be discounted.
Yep.
I'm throwing this out there, and you may not know, but a rough percentage-wise, how many of those things do you actually have to discount versus hey, they're just not staying on the floor that long?
No, that's actually really good, and that is a number that I look at. So because then I can tell if our pricing strategy is working, and not everyone agrees with our pricing, and I get that, I respect that. Some folks will have a different barometer of what they feel the value is and what they would pay for it. 85% of our sales will come from items that are either full price or maybe that first line of discount, that 25% off. So that means that stuff has been in my store for probably about a month to a month and a half. And then they'll go out at those prices. The remainder is going to be smaller. Less than 10% is going to come then from, probably like 7 or 8% is going to come from the 50% off, and a smaller amount from that 75% off.
Do you ever have something that just isn't going to move?
Yeah,
Does that ever
do.
happen?
And it's usually by the time it needs to go somewhere other than my sales floor, we will do everything we can to just mark it down as far as we can go, right? So we've got some great orange last chance stickers. That means that stuff has been here for a minute, right? But there are times where stuff has been here so long that it's gotten moved so much, it's gotten beaten up so much that it's gone through 2 rounds of last chance that it has to go. And we try to be responsible with it. If it's metal, we get a metal recycling bin, and but there are times where it has to go, but that's minimal, hardly anything at all, unless it's busted.
Something else that I wanted to ask you about, because I donated some stuff not that long ago, a few months ago, and one of the things that I took back up there, I'd actually purchased from there.
Yes.
So it was coming back through next time.
Yeah.
And curiosity just kills me, and I'm wondering whether anybody else does this too, that has made a donation. They're going to go up and see whether it's still sitting there or not.
Some folks do. Yeah. Some folks absolutely do. Yeah. And it's there was one, and it's a little heartfelt. I had some feels around this one, but she had come in and she had donated stuff, and I can't remember if it was from her mother or a very close relative. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was very emotional for her to donate it, but it had to happen, right?
Yeah.
So, but it was still it was tough for her. And I remember she came back and got teary, A, when she saw it on the floor, came back again, and B, when she saw that it had sold. The nice thing is that we remembered her, and we remembered who it went to. And so we were able to say, hey, it's got a good home, right? It's in a lovely family, came in and loved it, and just could not wait to get it home, et cetera, et cetera. So that was good.
You have obviously a lot of clients that come in that are just looking for something intact. They are furnishing, whether they're home or maybe a young person is moving into a dorm or something like that. But also, I know that some folks are looking for material to be able to create something with, and that's something else that
for sure.
The imagination can start to get stirred for folks like that in that store.
What's really fun is our proximity to the Harvester building. And the artist lofts over there. So that's really fun is when someone comes in and they get super excited about that little piece that they're like, I know what I'm going to do with that. We've got a young man that comes in, he's probably about 5 years younger than I am.
So he's 25.
Yeah. So he's, or 26.
Okay.
Yeah,
26.
I'll give him a year. He comes in and he will create light fixtures from, just kind of random electrical pieces and parts.
Okay.
And then he sells them. And it's cool stuff. It's really cool stuff.
I wonder, I saw somebody doing that. I was over at Junk Stock a few years ago and somebody had stuff like that over. It was really cool. Yeah. I wonder if it's not the same guy, it's somebody with the same mindset. But that is a very interesting thing that people can just think outside the box. And you know me, I love it when entrepreneurs start coming up with something unique. And what a great place to be able to source that.
We've got I've got several volunteers that come in on a pretty regular basis, and it's usually just to kind of come in and tinker. And it's a good, it's just they love coming in. And so I have one, Allison is her name. Retired attorney from one of the school districts in Omaha. And I remember she came in and I'm like, what do you like to do? She's like, well, I don't know. I was doing this, that, and the other thing. At some point in time, I want to learn how to paint furniture. I'm like, okay, let's find yourself, get a paintbrush, grab some paint, let's grab a piece of furniture and let's go. And so she's self-taught. She just kind of did it. She watched YouTube videos, etc. Well, she had found two really awesome, like really old cabinet doors, just really good patina on it and everything like that. She's like, can I make signs out of those for the vintage area? I'm like, of course you can. So she created the word vintage on this thing out of stuff that she found in the store, out of tools and brackets and pieces of metal.
So it wasn't paint; it was actual just different items that she shaped into.
Yeah, so she went junking in the ReStore, and she found some great stuff, and it's a beautiful sign. It's great.
Yeah, you want to go junking in the ReStore? The best place to do that's on the second floor.
That's right.
There's so much cool stuff up there, and I still know that some people stop in and don't realize. Hey, there's another floor here.
Exactly. What? I know their eyes get really big. Where's your doors? Upstairs. Oh, there's an upstairs. Yes. So they go up there. And man, we've been doing a lot of work upstairs. It's just more like just merchandising and organizing and stuff like that. People come in like, oh my goodness, you threw out a lot of stuff. We didn't. We just organized it so you can actually see it. So, the saws are hung up and all the hand tools are hung up and you can actually see it and buy it. And the door it goes.
How about folks making donations? Are those repeat customers too?
Yeah, they tend to be. Sure. Yeah. I'll see. There's one that just popped in my head. He's probably twice a month. He'll stop by with just sometimes it's a larger load, a pickup load, or sometimes it's just one or two items. Or if folks are, we've got another couple of customers that I feel like they redecorate their house. Probably a couple times a year,
right?
Or it feels that way, and so we'll get entire like room full of like planters and furniture that matches, and just all the stuff that's color coordinated. So we just basically take it from their trunk, set it up in the ReStore, and then it goes off to a new home.
I would talk to you about some of the different things that you have there, but that would be a pointless conversation to have because as we're talking, it's 1:25 on a Thursday afternoon. By the time this comes out, who knows?
Yeah, we don't know what's going to be left.
You don't know whether something's still there, and you also don't know if something cooler has come in the meantime.
Yeah.
It's that fast moving, and it has to. I think that's part of the reason why you have such a good energy in the place.
I think so too, because it's running a ReStore is not for the faint of heart. It's not easy. It really is not easy. But if you've got the right mindset for it, and if you get the mission, and if you like how fast paced it is, you're fine. You're great. You're going to fit in just perfectly, and you're going to do well as a ReStore person.
Obviously, there are different places that people can go and make donations, but when it comes to this kind of thing, this has always been that's been my go-to because that not only is it going to a good cause, it's going to a good cause right here.
Right, exactly. Right here in Council
Yeah.
Bluffs. All that money, so all the proceeds from the sale of any item that you purchase at the ReStore, whether it's a can of pop for 75 cents or whether it's a big sectional for $1,200, the proceeds from that are going to go to, the way I look at it, it offsets the administrative costs. So it's going to pay for the lights for our building and our program offices. It's going to pay for the water bill. It's going to pay for the gas for the construction truck. It's going to it's doing all of those things to offset those type of expenses, so that the money that you donate on an annual basis at the end of the year, because it's your favorite charity, whatever that looks like, all that money then goes to our homeownership program and our construction program, and it goes right back into the community.
Good mornings start with peace of mind. My Nurse Healthcare provides professional in-home support where it matters most, helping individuals maintain comfort, dignity, and independence in their daily lives. Their experienced nursing team focuses on personalized care, clear communication, and supporting families through every step of the process. It is healthcare built on trust, compassion, and real relationships. Learn more at mynursehealthcare.com. Tired of hot rooms, harsh glare, and zero privacy? Tint Advantage has the solution. With advanced window film, you can cut heat before it even enters your home or business, reduce glare on screens, and keep your natural light in view. And with smart film, your glass goes from clear to private in seconds. Total control, right at your fingertips. Comfort, privacy, and efficiency, all in one upgrade. Visit tintadvantage.com and take control of your space today. Was the concept of the ReStore started with that in mind?
It kind of. So mid to late 90s, something like that, in Texas, and then again in Canada are kind of where the two stores kind of started off, where the ReStore started off. And it was more of, we got folks donating a lot of stuff that we could use in our houses, right? That we build, 30 years ago. And building is different now than it was 30 years ago,
Yes,
right?
it is.
Where we're buying house packages, we're buying the framing kit, we're buying, all the wood for the framing, we're buying all the electrical package, the plumbing package, all that business from our local retailers. And so it got to the point where, the construction guys and gals are probably like, I can only have so many light switch covers. We have 5 million of them right now. And so that's kind of where it happened, is kind of doing that whole, that whole thrift store, that whole goodwill feel for building materials and, home decor and furniture.
We need a black light switch cover for here. You got one?
Probably. Yeah. You want it shiny? You want it matte? I mean,
we want it matte. We don't need it. We don't need it to jump out.
Yeah.
But there's a set that we are expanding out and getting more of the black acoustic treatment on the wall.
Yeah.
And currently the light switch is white.
Yeah. So
it would be jumping out too much. So we want to find a black one.
25 cents. Come on down. That's
done.
About
Sold.
all they are.
We can make that happen. How often does it happen that somebody shows up with things that you just can't take?
Yeah.
Because that is a thing.
It is a thing.
Yeah.
It is a thing. So there's a couple different scenarios there. So the first thing is the types of items that we just don't sell. So like your household items, like your plates, your dishes, your towels, your blankets, your mattresses, stuff like that. Stuff like that we don't do well. We kind of stop at the home decor, pictures, lamps, decorative pillows. Anything beyond that there's other places that do a better job. So just find your favorite thrift store and donate it there. Or liquids. So nothing, no chemicals, no cleaners, no paint, stuff like that. But it does happen, right? So we try to do a couple of different things. We'll try to redirect them to the other spot. We also have kind of a secret bin that we will put some of that stuff in. So if it's a set of glasses, we're going to put a set of glasses in this bin, and then we'll get it over to one of the thrift stores.
Okay.
Usually one of the local ones, rather than the chain ones.
Yeah, there's quite a few thrift stores in town that also are involved with nonprofit things, helping homeless people when they find a house to be able to furnish that, or some of them are just part of food banks or different places like that. So there's a lot of different places to go. So well done for helping with that process.
We can't do it all. I mean, sometimes we have to say, I'm sorry, that's just we just can't handle it, right? And then there's there's some things that are just like, oh well, that's something that I think of unframed mirrors or unframed glass.
Right.
And so if it happens to be just the one, one little piece that we're not going to kill ourselves on or, trip and break everything, then we'll just go ahead and take care of it and dispose of it ourselves. So
That makes sense.
yeah.
And it's, as I said at the beginning of this, it's just such a wonderful place to be able to go and just to look around, even if you're not going to buy anything.
Yes.
Man, just to look around and
We
take
got plenty
a look.
of looky-loos and we love them. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the one other thing I wanted to ask you about is, have you ever run out of space? And you ever said, we have no room here to take any more donations?
All the time. But then 3 minutes later,
somebody comes and buys some
space.
stuff.
We got a ginormous donation of light bulbs. One of the big box stores is doing a complete reset of their electrical departments, and so we got light bulbs, LEDs and halogens and stuff like that. And so my staff is like, we don't have space. I'm like, there's always space. We always have space. And so sometimes it just takes a minute or two to, kind of figure it out. There are things that are too big for us to handle. We had someone call about a big bay window. It was 9 feet long. I don't have any, I truly, other than sitting outside, which would be terrible.
Yeah, that'd be terrible for it. Yeah.
I just don't, some stuff like that I just can't handle.
Well, and also before we wrap up here, you mentioned the staff, and as you and I have talked about before, everybody when I go in there seems to be in a good mood.
Yeah.
The staff's in a good mood.
Yeah.
And they're all friendly.
Yeah.
And it's not, I don't think it's because, hey, make sure you smile at the people that are here. I think that's just how they're feeling.
That's how it really is. I mean, we do have a lot of fun. And sometimes, we probably laugh a little bit too loud, but I'll take it.
That's all right.
It's pretty good. And we've got great music. We've got Turner and I have worked together for a very long period of time, and he's full-time with us at the ReStore. He's been that way, been full-time since I think beginning of the year. And man, he picks just the right music for the day. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a nerd about that kind of stuff too. I've been working on a couple of playlists.
Anything from good 70s to mariachi. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's really good.
70s style mariachi.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what we're going to get.
We can totally do it.
All right.
Yeah.
So for anybody who is seeing this and doesn't know, how do they find you?
Yeah, find us best place. Start on the interwebs, habitatcb.org. There's going to be a little button up top that says ReStore. Click on that. It's going to give you the address, the phone number. If you want to donate stuff and you want to send us a quick note, absolutely. Yeah, that's the best thing to do. And a lot of times, if you're within the area and it's things that you take and you want to schedule a pickup, that's a place to be able to do that. Because you can't, it's not like you can just say, hey, bring your truck, I'm ready right now. It doesn't work that way. No, we're usually a week and a half or 2 weeks out is generally what we are. Because again, we're a smaller staff, we're a smaller store. And so we just have to kind of do our little things. Sometimes we have to push out too far and it doesn't work, but. Well, he is David Klitz, and he is the director of the ReStore in Council Bluffs. Thank you, sir. Right, grateful for your time always. Yep. And thank you for watching this episode of Council Bluffs today. If you look on the screen where you're watching this show, you're going to see a few buttons. It might say like, it might say follow, might even say subscribe. Any of those buttons that you click are going to help the algorithm be able to push this information out even further so more people in our area can see the exciting things that are happening right close to home. So thank you very much and in advance for doing that. And plus, the cool part about it is it's free. It doesn't cost anything to do it. My name is Todd Studer, and we'll see you back here next time.